Hello everyone, and welcome to your Aries new moon wishes for April the 15th, 2018. The Aries new moon sign readings, of course, are all about the equinox energy. So whether you're in the southern hemisphere and this is your harvest season, or this is the vernal equinox for you, the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere that is initiating your new year energy, what you're planting, what you're sowing at this particular time. It's a very auspicious moment. So I wanted to take a moment to let you know some of the things that Great Mother has been seeding in and through me to and for you. These new moon wishes, I am taking the time to actually write out suggested new moon wishes for you. If you're not familiar with working with new moon energies or how to work with them, it's basically really being clear about what your intentions are, writing them out, no more than 10, and you want to be sure that they're individual wishes. So for example, you want to go out and have more fun, and you want to make more friends, as an example. Those are two wishes, and they need to be separate. So I want to go out and have fun is one wish, and I want to make new friends is the second wish. Not sure exactly why it doesn't work when they're combined. It may have something to do with dictating how we want our blessings to come to us, which really does stagnate the manifestation process. The other thing that you want to keep in mind when you work with your new moon wishes is that they are just for you. We don't make wishes for other people. Again, imposing our will in that space of creation is an energy that we really want to avoid because it attracts that energy to us. So to maintain our autonomous divinity in a way that is pure, in a way that is clear, clearly channeled, we want to keep that wish for us, for ourselves, those wishes just for us. We can introduce the process to others at any time. And you want to just write them down, not meditate on them, but do put them away so that you can later reflect on them as your lunar cycles progress. You can come back and reflect on what has manifested. You'll begin to be very astonished by how quickly things do come into manifestation working with your new moon wishes. And so you won't have to look back at it very often. What you will discover is that things that do not manifest will probably be because they were somehow combined, or they are very core issues that you're working with and working through. So those are just some hints. I'll give you some more kind of rules of the road in terms of working with that. As Jane Spiller says, I'm one of her students working with lunar energies, and so that will be on your link to the blog on greatmotherspeaks.info. Suggested new moon wishes for your moon sign. Speaking of the vlog, this new lunar year for Aries moon sign people, your video has already been posted, and so it talks about for each of you, when your new moon comes each year, what Great Mother is coming through and saying will be some of your challenges and all of the energy that's available for you to actually feel the support of your divinity throughout the year. And so it's a very interesting look at how to plan for the year coming up. Again, we all have our own houses, our own degrees of when our moon came in. You may not have been born during the new moon in Aries, obviously. You could be born in November and your moon was a full moon. Well, if it was a full moon, it was in September, for example, because that is the Aries full moon. And so your Aries moon might actually be there. And so that's where the personal readings come into play. These are general readings about the general energies. So remember to book at greatmotherspeaks.info. And speaking of that, this month until the 30th, there is a sale on readings. All our readings, Great Mother Speaks readings, your moon sign readings that are normally $85, and the hour readings that are normally $65, Great Mother Speaks readings, they're all $50. So that is an encouragement to really get some information about this very auspicious season to help you kind of jumpstart the year for you in terms of planning this planting season. The moon is really, really important with regard to planting and harvesting. Want to Be sure that you also know that the Mama Drama Trauma website is finally up. So mamadramatrauma.info is up and ready to go. I want to let you know about the support group. This is a group that is using the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck as a coaching tool to really support the general welfare of survivors of mama drama trauma. In my coaching work, I have found that supplemental support throughout the week is very useful, and in joining a group in kind of the pilot experiments that I've had so far has really proved quite powerful. So it's very limited, small group, and so I think 5 is the maximum that we're just starting out with because we do really work through some of the principles and share ourselves anonymously through audio conferencing. So it's an opportunity for you at mamadramatrauma.info, which is the sister site to Great Mother Speaks.info, both of which are on the home site of themotherbond.com. So if you're just generally kind of rolled up on Great Mother Speak and you're like, what the heck is going on? Check out themotherbond.com. It's just a general overview of what we're talking about in terms of maternal yin, Holy Spirit energy, and how it manifests as the good, bad, and divine mother in each and every one of us in each and every way. And to get a little bit more understanding about how to work with this energy and insight about just really how we experience that energy and why we experience it in the various ways that we do. Those are just really getting started up. But want to let you know about that. And last but not least, these new moon readings that you're watching are readings that are basically going to amplify, enhance, really refine and focus your understanding of what Great Mother's messages were throughout the second quarter readings. Now, we just had our second quarter readings posted for April to June. So the general 3-month period, we have 4 through the year. We did January to March, the first quarter, just overall what's going on during those lunar cycles. Now just posted are the second quarter readings that are all about what's happening up until June. Now we have a respite this second quarter from eclipses. We are still in Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node in the Western, and Cancer North Node or Rahu, and Ketu Capricorn in the Sidereal. But we are having some reprieve. No activity going on until the end of July, which will be the third quarter. So this reflection period is really important when I come in with these shorter messages, new moon, full moon messages, April, May, and June, to further refine your understanding and expand on what she was saying. However, if you have not watched those videos or you picked up something that you think that you want to go back and reflect on, again, the link is below to your second quarter readings. Well, I really, really do hope that you enjoy them. Remember, the second quarter readings do have a 25-minute introduction for people to understand what these readings are about, who Great Mother is speaking to, and how to use these readings to know the difference between your emotional voice and when Great Mother is speaking to you. So we took some time on those second quarter readings to do that. So if you've already listened to that, remember, fast forward to about 27 minutes at the beginning of your second quarter reading. So with no further ado, here from me to you are your April 15th Aries new moon readings from Great Mother Speaks. Welcome, Leo, Virgo, Moon Sign people. Great Mother's message for you this April 15th new moon is coming from your 8th house. This Aries energy, this identity, this you asserting who and what you are. But more than anything, what I am sensing is a definite rebirth and a regeneration of that identity as you are beginning to actually define yourself in the world. You're beginning to really feel that it is time for you to be who and what you came here to be. It is time for you to ego soul align, as we see here with androgyne. And androgyne is telling us that it is a third quarter moon card, a time to release things that do not allow you to fully express yourself, as we're seeing with this fifth chakra here. The law of destiny and free will is saying that you're approaching this new moon in terms of recreating your identity in a way that says it's time for you to own your beauty. It's time for you to own who you are, the fullness of who you are, and to appreciate it, to allow others to appreciate it, and to empower yourself through your beauty, your abilities, your insights, your talents, your attitudes and behaviors that you may feel are not exactly what you want them to be at this particular time, or that you don't particularly appreciate yourself at this particular time. We're seeing here with the Nefertiti card, which is right below androgyne. It's also a throat chakra card. And so this has to do with the energies coming up in that speaking area, in that expression area, in that higher will area of really, really, really wanting to come through as who and what you are this lifetime. And so this regeneration is a complete revamp of who you see yourself to be right now as it relates to your power within your body. Maybe you are considering a new workout regime. Maybe you are considering a new way to go about sharing yourself with the world, or being more assertive in the world in some way. So for you, I'm seeing that there's definitely a need to reassess how you have been overly critical of yourself, because the transformative opportunity is the self-inquiry card. And so this is telling us that there's a real tendency at this particular time, as you were going through this new assertion of yourself, be it through your physical body, changing how you look, changing how you express yourself physically, or how you express yourself in terms of how you speak to others, what you're writing. Maybe you might be a performer even, but there's some self-criticism. And Great Mother is saying that you need to be more compassionate with yourself in this process. This is a new process for you. We're talking about Aries new moon. And so we're talking about new moon, the beginning of a cycle, and Aries, the beginning of the zodiac wheel. So there is no past for you to really compare anything. There is no other person for you to really judge yourself by. This is your deal. And Great Mother is saying, therefore, be compassionate to and with yourself in this process, Leo, Virgo moon people. The wisdom is coming from your soul, Sidereal Leo moon sign. And the wisdom is coming through, and it's saying from that soul space intuitively, maybe you were sensing that the path to freedom is right before you, as we see in the center card here of emancipation. The path is right before you. There is an opportunity to really break free from the past, if only you would actually trust the process and trust what your intuition is saying, as we see the Adi Shakti card here below it. Adi Shakti is the Twister dream card, when Dorothy is taken up in the twister when she attempts to return home after she's run away. And Great Mother diverts her path because her journey is not complete. Even though she might feel, a little insecure about, her decision to leave, or she's guilted into returning, whichever take you want to take. Professor Marvel on the road kind of, encouraged her to go back home. It wasn't time. And so it's not time for you to revert back to a past that you may want to hold on to, because this might seem a little too overwhelming to start this whole new workout regimen, or to start this whole new way of expressing yourself, or performing in a new way, showing yourself in a new way, asserting yourself in a new way. You may have some apprehension because of the other end of the yin-yang continuum. You have been too expressive. You have been too assertive, and you are perhaps realizing that now and needing to pull back. And you know that when you do that, you will fall into a new balance that will be more beautiful, that will be more readily accepted first and foremost by yourself from your heart. We have a heart chakra card here with self-compassion, which is what Great Mother is signaling does not need to be overlooked. And so either the self-compassion in terms of being hard on yourself, or the self-compassion in terms of realizing that we do better when we know better. Okay, and so if it has been too assertive, well then just be compassionate with yourself and knowing that you were coming through a process of freeing yourself from those tethers that caused you, to whatever reason, believe that you had to behave that way. And now you realize that you want to switch your behavior, and you're going to be guided through that, just as Dorothy was in the Twister dream. In that dream, she had many images that came up, very foretelling about the journey she was about to commence. And so you will get a lot of foretelling information about your journey as well. You just had a full moon in your sign, Virgo, didn't you? And so that full moon reading in Virgo was really an opportunity for you to see what Great Mother was saying was coming to fulfillment, for full illumination and fruition for you at this particular phase of your lunar cycle. Okay, that means that your new lunar year will be in the Virgo new moon in September. So you're in the midway mark. And this midway mark is showing us that you've decided to make some changes. They're already underway, or you were right at the cusp of doing that. And Great Mother's coming through with some confirmation. She's saying that you do not realize how much angelic support that you have in making this transformation and making this transition, Leo Virgo moon people. The angels are with you, as we see here in the shadow position of your reading. This is the shadow position, so that means that it's not clear to you. There's a veil there in terms of you really knowing, recognizing, or appreciating the guidance that you've already received. Now, in living and loving detachment, we learn to accept things as they are, and we learn to allow others and situations to be what they are. Now, this is after we've done all that we can to change a situation, to enhance it for what we feel is our highest good. Okay, not for our own selfish needs necessarily in a group situation is the first motivation, but for the highest good. And, when we're, of course, in a business situation, it is, more of a personal benefit, because we're talking about allocation of resources and we want to be good stewards. But when we're talking about the internal work that we're doing with Great Mother, we want to be sure that we are allowing ourselves to accept assistance from the angels. It's not a transactional relationship. It is a soul supportive relationship, as we see here with the two yin-yang symbols. These double symbols indicate that there is on each shoulder, as the cartoons used to show, the devil and the angel. Okay, so we could say the ego and the soul. Although here, when we talk about ego, we're not talking about a bad part of ourselves. We're talking about our biography. So our egos do support who we say we are, that biography, that identity that you're transforming at this time, Leo Virgo moon people, during the Aries new moon, and the soul. So that Leo part of you that you were receiving intuitive downloads about new ways to express yourself, new ways to enjoy yourself, is really coming through for you. And the angels are supporting you to receive it, which is why you are at this decision point to move forward. So that might be a little bit in the shadow, that you've been getting some unction, some urging, some encouragement, maybe some songs coming on the radio, maybe people in conversation stating things that have been in your heart and your mind for a long time, and you're like, wow, I can't believe they said that. I was really needing that. Those kinds of things, running across blogs unexpectedly that are sharing with you some details that no one else could possibly know. Great Mother is saying what's going to facilitate the release of these residual resistances that you have, blockages, restrictions to making this transformation, is your embrace of your personal power. Now, the Lilith card is when Glinda the Good Witch gives Dorothy the ruby red slippers. These ruby red slippers are your birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. So by owning your personal power to fulfill that birthright in your life, Dorothy had no idea the power of those shoes when she got them. She had to go through a journey before she really realized what they were, before Great Mother actually told her. She didn't ask. She didn't ask, why do I need the shoes? Well, Great Mother's coming through and she's telling you that you need the shoes of your personal power, trusting your gut, trusting what you know from a visceral, instinctual level. From an instinctual level, there is something within you that knows that this transformation is necessary in your life in order for you to more fully enjoy your life. This is going to free you up to express yourself in new ways. This change and this transition is really going to refine who you are as an individual. And you really do like the potential of what you see and what you sense within is necessary to do this. And so that belief, that focus, that thought pattern that is developing, that seed is what needs to be planted. That thought seed needs to be planted this new moon season for you, Leo, Virgo, moon people. That is the focus. That is what needs to be nurtured. That is what needs to be cultivated in order to facilitate the release of anything, any impediments to your transformation. Because as you cultivate that personal power, that thought and that knowing that you are being guided, that you do have what you need to fulfill this transformation, and that there is a personal power that you were already experiencing in your physical life coming through these angel guides and ancestral messages. You're already experiencing these interactions with people, and when you modify your behavior just a certain way, to speak a certain way, that you're wanting to go toward, or to write a blog in a different kind of a mode, or to do this transformational work that you know that you want to do at this time, you're getting positive feedback. And so that is what's going to facilitate the release of those impediments, is building up that energy and releasing the old. We have two wolves, don't we? And so which one we want to feed? The ravenous, unforgiving, destructive wolf, or, the loving, caring, brave wolf, So that is personal power, choosing which one we want to feed. And if you choose feeding the one that in your gut, is leading you toward where you want to be and where you want to go, then the outcome here is self-doubt. Now, self-doubt for Virgo moon people is a very positive outcome, because in the story of the goddess Rhiannon, we find out that there is a doubt about what we know. And as a result of that self-doubt, exploitation. You already have by default a very analytical, emotional space that you operate in before you take action. And so the outcome, being self-doubt, is saying that you are clearly going to be thinking this process through. You are going to be planting that seed and working with your new moon wishes. Be sure to click the link to the vlog on the greatmotherspeaks.info link to find out what those suggested wishes are for you, so that you can very critically go through and see how those areas are being rebirthed and you are being reborn this second quarter. This is absolutely wonderful. The first quarter moon in Rhiannon is all about taking action based on a decision to face a challenge. So Great Mother's message to you, Leo, Virgo moon people, is all about doing that in order to bring forward the law of destiny and free will in your life in a way that your primal yin-yang energy is activated in the world to express your true self, body, mind, and soul. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and sharing. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.